It's time for a countdown I know a lot of people have been looking forward to. This is my top 10 favorite wooden roller coasters that I have experienced. The key thing there is that I have experienced. There are obviously some fantastic wooden roller coasters out there. I still have yet to ride roller coasters outside of America, so you'll find that all of these roller coasters can be found throughout the United States. But I like to think that I've gotten on a lot of the best ones. So let's waste no time and get into this. Up first, we have our number 10 roller coaster, which is a great GCI, Thunderhead at Dollywood. This is a really well-paced ride. You have lots of awesome bank turns. It's relatively smooth for a wooden roller coaster. You have lots of great airtime moments. It's a long ride, and of course you have that station fly-through. It's super fun. I'm a big fan of this roller coaster, and since I have yet to ride Lightning Rod, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best wooden roller coaster at Dollywood. Taking the number 9 spot is an iconic roller coaster. This is the Beast at Kings Island. Now, there are some people out there that are absolutely obsessed with this ride. They say that it's the greatest thing in the world since sliced bread. And I gotta say, I'm not really one of those people. I really enjoy this ride. It gives an absolutely incredible night ride. It's super fun. Of course, it holds the record for the world's longest wooden roller coaster. 2 chain lifts, crazy helix at the end. But I can recognize when you have a superior wooden roller coaster, and the fact is, the Beast is good, but it's not the best. Coming in at number 8 is our second GCI, Prowler at Worlds of Fun. Like Thunderhead, this is a twister roller coaster, lots of airtime, some crazy bank turns. It gives a really fun night ride. I haven't ridden this coaster as many times as Thunderhead, but when you look at the two rides and are comparing them, they do obviously have a lot of similarities, but for me, Prowler just barely edges it out. And next, we have a fairly new roller coaster from Gravity Group. This is Switchback at ZDT's. What a fun ride. Obviously not super tall or super fast, but what I love is the layout and its uniqueness. You have a great drop with lots of awesome airtime moments, some crazy bank turns, and then you hit this peak moment where you rise up and then fall backwards and do it all over again. It's super re-rideable. When I was there for about an hour or two, I rode it 10 times. It's so much fun whether you're in the front seat or the back. Overall, this ride takes the spot that it did just because of how much fun it is. Next up until recently, was the world's tallest and fastest wooden roller coaster, Goliath, at Six Flags Great America, the first RMC to make this list. This ride is great. People always complain about how short it is, but it gives an incredible drop, especially if you're sitting in the back seat. Those bank turns are awesome, there's a great airtime hill, that dive loop is super fun. And if we want to talk about really awesome elements, how about that 0G stall? That thing is fantastic. I really enjoyed Goliath when I got around to riding it. It is definitely one of the weaker RMCs, but absolutely it deserves to be in this top 10. Now we're at our halfway point with our number 5 roller coaster, and this one is actually 2. This is a dueling coaster, Lightning Racer. The two sides go up against each other and are constantly twisting over and around each other. When the two rides race, you are constantly passing by the other train. It's so cool. The layout is awesome on both sides. It's a lot of fun, and Hershey Park is really good at sending the trains out together so that they race. So that is why it is taking this spot. I love this ride. So that is currently my second favorite GCI, and my first favorite GCI is taking our next spot, Gold Striker at California's Great America. Absolutely love the tunnel, super great layout. It's the full package. You got airtime, you got bank turns. I'd say it's a long ride. It's a really well done wooden roller coaster. It's currently my favorite GCI. I'm interested in seeing how GCI does with future roller coasters to see if like Mystic Timbers will be able to one-up this. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is the greatest GCI in America. But it didn't make my top 3. And that is because our next 3 roller coasters are absolutely phenomenal. All 3 of these rides are in my top 10 roller coasters I've ridden, period. So let's get into this with our number 3 ride, Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. This was the first ground-up RMC wooden roller coaster, and it was also the first one to take riders upside down 3 times. Like Goliath, it may not be a super long experience, but as a killer drop goes out into the woods, you have multiple inversions. I love this giant wave turn that it has where you're hanging 90 degrees, and it is really re-rideable. Highly recommend this ride, especially trying out in the front and back seat. This is a favorite of mine. Best coaster in the park by far. So now we're at our number 1 and 2 wooden roller coasters, and I think a lot of people are going to be able to guess what the 2 are. It's 2 rides that are very often compared to each other. This is a huge feud going on between enthusiasts, people saying, oh, this one's better. No, this is how I've placed them. And number 2, we have the Voyage at Holiday World. One of the longest roller coaster experiences that you'll have. The layout is absolutely fantastic. So many ride elements. The airtime is ridiculous. Some people complain about it being rough. I didn't think it was rough. Only complaint is that it does have those trims. However, during Hollywood nights, you can experience the Voyage at night and with those trims off. I have yet to experience that, but should be experiencing it in the summer of 2017. And I've heard from a lot of people that that is what makes it the greatest wind roller coaster in the world, when you get to experience it at night with the trims off. We'll find out after I ride to see if that changes my opinion, but there is no denying that this is one of the world's greatest roller coasters. And of course, the Voyage's main rival for #1 wind roller coaster, El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure. This has long been a favorite of mine. It's currently my #3 roller coaster I've ever ridden. The drop is fantastic. The airtime is fantastic. I love the bank turns. It is glossy smooth, smoother than some steel coasters. Love the layout. Gotta get a front and back seat on this. It's super intense. Highly recommend a night ride on it. It may not be as long as the Voyage, but there is no denying that this is a phenomenal roller coaster. So that is my top 10 wind roller coasters that I've ridden. Obviously, there's still some out there that I have yet to get on, such as Lightning Rod, which I mentioned previously, and Phoenix. Also, there's a lot of great wind roller coasters over in Europe that I haven't gone on yet. And we are seeing some new wind roller coasters come to America for the 2017 season, and I will actually be able to get on all 3 of them. You have Mystic Timbers, Invader, and Mindblower. So after I ride them, we'll see if either of those 3 make my top 10 wind roller coasters list. I think it'll be interesting to see how that changes. But as of February 2017, these are my favorites. So let me know in the comment section below which wind roller coasters are your favorite. Also, let me know if you've ridden any of these and if you agree with my placement. And of course, stay tuned for more coaster countdowns coming soon to Coaster Studios.